Welcome to Death by a Thousand Cuts, a podcast about everything we are having to deal with in American society today. This week's topic: choose your label. In my experience as a female engineer for 20 plus years, I've come to understand that women are allowed one of three labels in American society: bitch, whore, or doormat. Competence will be mislabeled as she's a bitch when women exhibit it, as with being forthright or capable, which is sometimes attributed to being a lesbian, so I suppose that a fourth category is also an option. No woman wants to be thought of as a bitch, so many will fawn or flirt, so as not to threaten or antagonize men. And while it is safer to exhibit these behaviors, it also tears us down, both on the inside but also in society. We lose our power and are further devalued. A whore, on the other hand, is allowed to step out of bounds and be coarse, crude, unrefined, and vulgar, as long as she puts out. Again, though, no respect and not valued as a human being. The doormat is the good girl, the sweet girl, the chaste, naive virgin who every guy is encouraged to marry. She is the one who has it worst of all. She is the slave. She's the one who bows to her husband's every whim, never asks for or expects anything, lets him control all the money, and hasn't a clue about their finances. She cooks, cleans, shops, runs all the errands, does dishes and laundry, pays the bills, gives birth, and provides him with all the sex he wants. And all of this free labor is expected and mostly unappreciated. Then, she either dies young due to being worked into the ground, or dumped, along with her children, when she reaches middle age and her hormones fail. Finding herself in the food stamp line, hoping to be able to feed her babies because her ex refuses to send any kind of support and she cannot afford a lawyer. I've seen this type of role played out over generations. One such example was a family friend who would be the responsible parent for 3 children under 6 years old, feeding, bathing, and playing with the kids, while the lazy good-for-nothing husband was on the couch playing video games for hours or out with his buddies drinking. She worked herself to death, being the slave of the family, while he only carried out the bags to the car. This man also had a form of sleep apnea, and his snoring would bring down the house. Yet, she slept in the same bed as him, and he did nothing to address his problem. Her life was being shortened by his snoring, as she was unable to ever get a good night's sleep. My Aunt Kathy was one of these women, too. I told her that seemed like an awful life. She said, "You haven't tried it." I said I wouldn't want to. John Lennon once wrote a song entitled "Woman is the N***er of the World," which still to this day can be found on YouTube. And the lyrics are striking. We make her paint her face and dance. If she won't be a slave, we say she don't love us. If she's real, we say she's trying to be a man. While putting her down, we pretend that she is above us. We make her bear and raise our children, and then we leave her flat for being a fat old mother hen. We tell her home is the only place she should be. Then we complain that she's too unworldly to be our friend. We insult her every day on TV and wonder why she has no guts or confidence. When she's young, we kill her will to be free. While telling her not to be smart, we put her down for being so dumb. Woman is the n***er of the world. Yes, she is. If you don't believe me, take a look at the one you're with. Woman is the slave to slaves. Yes, she is. If you believe me, you better scream about it. Ironic lyrics from a man who left his wife and son for a mistress and then abused the mistress. Is this a case of do as I say and not as I do? Yet, he has a point. Woman is the nigger of the world, and we are groomed to blithely walk into the trap of marriage in exchange for a pretty dress and a party, only to find out that we are caught in a trap that could end our lives, literally. Statistics show that the most dangerous man to a woman is her partner. But now, women are waking up and choosing the 4B path, opting out of any interactions with men. It's an awakening such as I've never seen before, and it is amazing. Young women are no longer falling for the marriage and family line. They're putting themselves first, getting educated, and creating wealth for themselves. And while the labels still exist, they are no longer centering men in their lives or worrying about the male gaze. So I guess you could say that they are consciously choosing the label of the bitch, reclaiming it like an Amazon woman warrior. And if men want to play a role in their lives, they had better come prepared with something to offer. Don't show up with no job, no car, no education, and no future and expect anything. Men, you have to step up and offer her something that will improve her life, not detract from it. Ironically, in West African countries, if a man shows up empty-handed and asks to a date, the family will say no, because you have no means to take care of her. You would only be using her. If only American women were so protected. There are several traps that women need to be aware of. The sex trap, the baby trap, the trad wife trap, and the hospice wife trap. All of these traps can derail your life, and you could possibly end up in poverty if the relationships don't work out. Have your own money, your own bank account, an education, and a job before you let any man into your life, and ensure that he has the same. Date on your level. I wish I had known all of this when I was young. I was programmed by society to be a slave, and I made excuses for badly behaved man babies, explaining that he didn't know any better or he was sorry and would do better next time. They never did. Entitled, spoiled, immature, and cruel, these men never improved my life in the slightest. Naysayers would often snipe at me, "Choose better." To that I say, the odds may be good, but the goods are odd. There are so few mature, intelligent, and caring men out there that most women don't have many good choices anymore, no matter their age. So, we are opting out. And to that, men will say, "You're going to die alone with cats." And to that, I say, "Don't threaten me with a good time." Thank you for joining me today on Death by a Thousand Cuts. I'm Liz, and I hope to see you next time.